Almost 1 year ago, 40-year-old Mary Davis Johnson went missing. Her sisters, Nona and Jerry, join us today. Hi, welcome to the table. Thank you for coming to talk to us.
Thank you. It means a lot to us that you guys are there and are willing to talk to us and share our sister's story. It's really difficult, but yeah, it's been a year almost already.
Can you tell us what happened?
The day before Thanksgiving, her husband actually let us know that she was missing.
Oh, wow. Take your time.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But anyways, he told us that she was missing. She doesn't really normally go out and about too often, and if she does, it's like a weekend. Right now we're at a standstill.
Her husband reported her missing to the Tulalip tribes of Washington, and they made us feel like we were important in the beginning, and then as time went on, it feels like we're on the back burner now. And she was connected to her cell phone, and it's been turned off for almost a year now. She was walking on Fire Trail Road up to Oso, Washington, where she stays with a family. They help her get sober and clean. She never made it to Oso, Washington. And the really messed up part is, it seems like the Tulalip Police Department is keeping stuff from us. And it's just frustrating, and just wish they would do more, and they're not. They didn't even do any searches.
Well, they did one, and it was for the cadaver dogs. In the last known place, her husband was living with her, and there was nothing.
The FBI has recently issued a $10,000 reward for information on your sister's disappearance. Do you have any theories about what you may think happened to Mary?
I think she might have been trafficked.
Yeah.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
That goes on. Yeah. And another thing that's bugging us is feels that we're Native American, and we're not getting as much of the media attention as others would. We've been doing a few interviews now since the FBI, offered the reward. The missing, murdered Indigenous women, they're going to come out to Tulalip with my sister and I and friends and family and do a prayer walk the whole length of Fire Trail Road.
Having done a lot of traffic advocacy, I do know that on reservations sometimes that the laws are a little different.
It's the jurisdiction.
It's the jurisdiction.
It's basically whose case is it going to be. In our country, we have that theory of staying in one's lane all the time. This is a crime, but who's going to take the lead? They don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, and they believe that if they have these jurisdictional lines, that they'll be able to be more efficient, number one, but also they can investigate the case in the place where they could actually prosecute the person. You've got some blurring when it comes to the idea of reservations, whether it's going to be a state or it's a federal crime. That's why the FBI would be involved in that respect. But as these sisters very well know, there are over 5,000 Native American women who are missing.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about the proportionality in the general population.
Yeah.
That is indicative of a much larger issue.
Yeah.
If you know that someone is not going to be searched for, if it's never going to be a priority, and that gives license and emboldens and empowers other predators to now try. If more than 5,000 women in one particular demographic can go missing, you can imagine this person being targeted for exploitation.
Yes.
I have two sisters myself, and this, frankly, she is all of our sister.
Yeah.
You mentioned that she was battling addiction. Do you think that her battle with addiction, which we know is afflicting millions of Americans, do you think that her addiction has had some influence on how people have seen this particular case?
Yes, very much so. But my sister and I are trying to change that.
Good.
See her as the wonderful, loving aunt and sister and friend she is. Not what people characterize most Native Americans as drug addicts and alcoholics. I mean, who's going to go look for a person like that?
Right.
Thinking, oh, they did it to themselves, you know, why waste the resources?
Right.
And so her and I are doing this, you know, in hopes to have people look at her in a different light, that we know her.
If you have any information on Mary's case,
Please call the number on your screen.
we're sending our prayers.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just wishing you the best.
And
you.
Jada, oh my goodness, it is so wonderful to talk to you. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you. Thank you for just giving us the opportunity to amplify your voices, you know, and to speak about your loved one. We really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And what struck a chord with me in particular, and I'm so glad that they have really confronted the reality of how people's perception of
Yes.
the missing can shape not only their ability and willingness to support,
Yep.
but also can shape law enforcement and ultimately, if there's a prosecution that's needed, a juror.
Yeah.
We have to really look at our thought process around the victim blaming. When it comes to addiction, somebody who is battling addiction does not mean that they are not somebody you should be looking for.
That's right.
Or that they have somehow been complicit in their own victimization.
Yep.
The notion of, can we restructure our thoughts around people who are missing or exploited in some way, trafficking or otherwise, and not assign the blame to them?
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.